Hey, YouTube!
Oh, hee ho, chicken in a big bowl. Like chickens, like to hatch some eggs to eat 'em up, boogaloo. Chicka bum, chum. I love some Chucky.
Hey guys, welcome back to the TimmyTube Network. Today, we're going to make a wig out of fur fabric. I have a pattern that you can download. Make sure you check it out down in the description. You can download the pattern and you can make your own wigs for your own puppets. Let's do it now. Okay, so how do you make a fur wig for a puppet? Well, first of all, you got to get some fur fabric. Okay, and if you notice, the fur fabric goes a certain way. So keep that in mind when you cut out your template and your fur. Just keep in mind which way you want the fur to go. So anyway, what we're going to do is I found I was at Toys R Us. And they had a clearance table, and I found a puppet. It was like a Muppet, Jim Henson Muppet puppet. Anyway, it had a bunch of extra parts to it, and one of them was this fur. So that's where I got the idea. So anyway, I decided to take this fur and make a template for you guys so you can do your own hair. You'll be able to use this template. I'll put this template on the website, and I'm going to cut it out, and then I'll put it on the website, and you can download and you can make your own fur wigs. So anyway, it should be pretty neat. So let me go ahead and cut this out. I need to put these are really good scissors, and they are Fiskars. They're really sharp, and I use them on everything. People say, hey, don't use it on foam, it'll dull it and stuff. Well, I don't really care if it dulls it. I'll just buy another pair of these Fiskars. So let's go ahead and start cutting this out. Oh, one thing I want to tell you about this is that this pattern fits on a piece of paper, almost. And what you have to do is, you're going to have to add an inch. Because if you notice right here, this would be a normal piece of paper, somewhere around in there. And if you see the distance here, it's about an inch. So when you download this, I'm not going to do a second page for this little piece down here. I'm just going to say, add an inch from a piece of paper to this part right here. And I'll probably have it, an arrow or something on it. I don't know yet. But anyway, let's go ahead and get this cut out so you can have this pattern. And now this exact pattern is going to be on the website so you can use it. It's not correct. I hand drew it, but it's close enough. And as a matter of fact, it's the same hair. Of course, you saw that it was the same hair for Criss Cross, but it should be pretty good. And I'll show you what it looks like on a puppet that I use. So anyway, let's get cutting this out. I'm going to make this so I can make more wigs for my puppets, because that's one thing I don't have. I have plenty of brown fur. To do. So I'm going to need a pattern that I can use over and over again. And that's why I use the folder. I use the folder so I can reuse it. So anyway, let's just go ahead and cut this off at the bottom, make it easier to work with. get rid of this junk. Alright, now let's go ahead and cut this. Now this top part here where I'm cutting right now was supposed to be curved a little bit, so I tried to stay true to the curve. But it may be off a little bit, but it doesn't matter, because you know what? If you're off a little bit, that means it makes it your own. In other words, there's nobody else that has it because you've done it yourself. So, you know, you can say somebody inspired you, like TimmyTube Network. So let's just keep on cutting. And all right, so that is that. So here we go. We got us the pattern, and let's just go ahead and look and see if that's close. Now, these lines right here, when you do it, you got to make sure. I might as well just cut it. But there's a line there that the fabric has to be cut up to that point. So you're going to have to draw this line on your fabric. So I'll go ahead and cut this line out. That way you'll know that you're going to have to do your fabric. So what'll happen is when you glue this, you see how that does, and then this will of course curve in like that, and it will make a wig that fits on a puppet. So, and it does work on the round head puppet that I did, and you can download the round head as well. So anyway, there's this. Let's just look how good we did it. Okay, that's about right, wouldn't you say? Yep. Okay, so there is our pattern. Here's that added, and it's not actually an inch. It's about a quarter, 3/4 of an inch, 3/4 of an inch, right there. It's not quite an inch, but this will fit on a piece of paper minus that 3/4. So you'll be able to print it out, cut it out on, and I use folder or cardboard, whatever works for you. And I like to put. I like to name them what it is, so when I put it in my folder of patterns, I'll know what this is. I could put fur, but it could be anything actually. So there's our pattern. So now what we need to do is we're going to need to take some fabric, and I bought a bunch of this fabric a while back, and I used it for the puppy dog's ears, and I've used it on all kinds of things, different puppets here and there. So we're going to use this hair fabric, and I'm going to show you how to do it. So, need to find a place that I've cut already. Okay, here we go. Here's the cut end. Right here. So you can see, always hold on to your remnants because you never know, you may be able to use this. This won't fit on this. It's not big enough for the one I'm working on today. So save your remnants. You never know, you can make eyebrows, mustache, something later for another puppet. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to find the longest part of this, and then I'm going to kind of fix this on here like this as best as I can. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to try to fit this on here and use the least amount of fabric. So I would say something like that. So then you take your take a Sharpie and just draw around your pattern. And it's good that this fabric is lighter on the one side, because then you can see the Sharpie. So I'm just going to keep on going around the pattern with the Sharpie. Hit a bump. Alright, so there's our pattern. Don't forget to go up about an inch here. That's about right. And an inch here. That's about right. And then, let's see, oh. Okay, so there, I don't know if if the camera picks it up, but I can clearly see this. And, so what you do is whenever you cut fur, you want to use an X-Acto knife. Why? Is so you can score your pattern. You can score the fur instead of cut it, because when you cut the fur, it actually cuts the hair too. So that's why we do it on the back. And so let's get to cutting. So bear with me here, guys, while I do this. And I lift it up too, just so it's in the air, and you just go around it and score it where you drew on the fabric here. And just go on around. All right. So there is our piece. Keep the remnants. So there's our piece. You notice, okay, that's going to be the hair. And it actually ran a decent way. When I go to do this, it'll have bangs. So I didn't think to look at which way the hair is running. But do you see what it's going to do? So your next step is gluing. So I need to cut this a little further. Needs to be about an inch. That's about an inch. That's a little bit further on that one too. So the steps to glue this will be, of course, this first one, right? And then this second one, you just go straight on up. That's the way I'm going to do it. I don't know which is the correct way, but it may be easier to do these first. I'm not sure, but we're going to find out. So anyway, let's get the glue gun. Where's my X-Acto knife? I really like these scissors, these Fiskars. They're very Fiskery, as Timmy would say. All right, so while this glue gun is warming up, you want to make sure that the hair is away from where you're going to glue, and just kind of look to see how you're going to glue it, how it's going to go. So if you look in there, you're going to want to glue it like this, right? And all you're doing is you're going to glue along that seam. Right along there. And you just stick it in there, hold it, stick it in there, hold it, stick it in there, hold it, stick it in there, hold it. And it'll be good. And we'll just do that first. And don't put any glue towards the end. Because you may have to snip that off or do something with this end here. And if you do, just put a very little bit, because when this is flipped over, you may see it on the end, okay? So don't kind of try to hide it if you can. So I'm going to go ahead and start gluing. Kids, do not try this at home. You see, it gets on you, and it could burn you. My hands are calloused, doesn't burn me. So if you have to use hot glue and do my technique, just be careful. That's all I can say, because it does get hot. And parents, don't let your kids do this. It's just way too hot. you don't need a lot of glue. You really don't. And you can feel where you can do a dot. It doesn't have to be durable, and because it's going to be hidden mostly anyway. It's just going to be on top of the head, and this is the back of the head. So and it's hairy, so so it would be easy to see. Gosh, I had too much coffee this morning. I'm shaking. So, I'm almost finished. It didn't take long. It's quicker than stitching. If I had to stitch that, man, I'd still be stitching. This is just a quick way, and I hot glue everything. So, yeah. So now let's turn it inside out, like this. And there you have your wig. It turned out pretty good. I'd say so. Look at there. Turned out pretty good. And it looks like, everyone's different. This one, his hair is kind of coming down like that. That's cool. All right, let's get it on a puppet. So guys, that's how you do a wig. All right? So don't forget to download the pattern, cut that baby on out, and make your own puppet hair. All right? All right, well, there you go. That's how you make a wig. Now, we're going to take off this guy's hair, and we're going to put that wig, man, the feathers are flying through the air. Find the back, and we're going to try it on this puppet right here. He was a blank puppet. But, let's see. How's that look? Hair needs to go back a little bit. What do you think? What do you think about that wig? I think it looks pretty good. Not bad. I have another puppet that I've already done this to, and that's where I got the idea for this video. It's on Criss Cross. Here, I'll show you a picture of Criss Cross. All right, well, there you go. That's how you do a wig. That's how I do a wig. That's how I found out how to do a wig. I guess the technique would be sewing instead of hot glue. I do hot glue because it's easy and quick, and I don't have to worry about trying to see. My eyes aren't what they used to be, but trying to put the thread in the needle. So anyway, hope you enjoyed the video on how to make a wig for puppets. Stay tuned. We'll have a bunch of new stuff coming out, and come back and see us. Make sure you click like, subscribe, click the button, hit the thing, hit the bud, do today, and we'll see you next time here on the TimmyTube Network.
I like beef chutney. Beef chutney. Beef chutney. Beef chutney. Beef chutney. Beef chutney. I like a big fat beef chutney.